Hello everyone, Coach Lockey here. In today's video, I've got 4 tips for you to try and help you break 90 more often. Now, if you regularly break 90, these tips might also help you brush up your skills to lower your scores even more. I've also got a giveaway for you. Does anyone want some Echo golf shoes? Now, you do have to have small feet like me, unfortunately. These are size 7.5 in the UK, but they are super snazzy. And if anyone wants them, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below. What size shoe are you? Because that's all I can think of right now. Come on, let's get into the video. Tip number 1 is tee height. So how high do you tee your ball? Do you do it a consistent height every time? Do you use castle tees and things like that, and you're always teeing it the same height? Generally speaking, you want half the ball above your driver face. But lots of skilled golfers, low handicappers, are using tee height as a weapon. So if I really tee my ball down low, I know that my strike's going to be lower on the face, which might make it launch lower, spin a bit more. It might also change how I move my club through the ball. So my tendency when I tee it lower is to move my path out to in, and then I try and hit more of a cut shot. If I was to do the opposite, tee it loads higher, this is when I'm generally on a par 5 and I want to hit a bomb. I can hit it higher on the face, which will launch that ball higher with lower spin, which will get more carry and more distance. It helps me move my path in to out and hit more up on the golf ball instead of hitting down when I'm teeing it down. All these things are going to affect that ball flight and affect that distance that the ball goes. On certain holes, I use it as a weapon. Like I said, tee it up high for par 5s to try and get a bit more distance down that hole. If there's a really tight par 4 and I want to be a bit more accurate, teeing it lower, hitting a controlled fade down there is a weapon that I'll try and use out on the golf course. Let's hit a couple. So I've got this first one teed up nice and high. I'm going to go aiming up the right. I'm going to move my path more into out. I'm going to hit more up on it. And I'm going to go for that big high bomb draw. Now this hole is uphill, so it might not look as high on the old Pro Tracer, but this is going to be a high bomb. Oh yes, that's perfect. Now let's tee one a bit lower. Let's see the difference in flight, shape and things like that. I'm going to use a yellow ball so we can see the difference in distance also. So teeing it down, this is definitely something that I probably wouldn't do on this hole. One is it's a par 5 and it's an upslope to the fairway. But let's just try and sneak it past this tree on the left and hit a nice low cut. Now that was close to the tree. Didn't quite get all my cut on that one, but it stayed pretty straight, stayed pretty low, and there's a bit of a fuzzball up the left there. Let's go and see the difference in distance. So here's the results of the drives. I've got my fadey low cut, which was pretty straight, not much fade on it, but it's just hit the left side of the fairway here. There it is, and all the way down there, I don't know if you can see that, but I'll zoom in as much as I can, is my high bomb draw. So playing with tee height can give you options. It can give you options in shape. It can give you options in different distances, trajectories. So if you're playing in the wind or downwind possibly. Like these kind of simple ideas will help you get a lot more armory and weapons when you're out on the golf course with that driver. Next up, approach play. Let's start striking these irons a little bit purer. I see far too many of my students coming into the studio delivering way too much loft with their irons. And this is generally because their grip is too weak, so they can only see one knuckle on their grip hand. Let's get a few more knuckles, 2 or 3 more knuckles shown on this grip. 2 or 3 more knuckles will start delivering the face more closed, which will also take loft off if you're twisting it around the axis of the shaft. If you start twisting loft off and closing the face, you'll want to deliver your handle more forward. Whereas Weaker grips, higher lofted ones get this club catching up to square it up, which will lead to fats and thins and not those crisp strikes that you're after. So let's get 2 or 3 knuckles on this glove hand, which will twist the loft off, and then you'll have to deliver the handle forward, which will really pure up your strikes. 13th here at Borringdon needs a good strike, otherwise I'm finding that water. 2, 3 knuckles, aiming a little bit up the right as the wind is off the right today as well. Ball position middle to slightly back in my stance, and then committing to this grip feel, which will take loft off and maybe give you a few extra yards as you're delivering less dynamic loft. Good strike, drawing back in. Right side of the green. Oh yes, birdie putt. Let's head on to chipping. Short game drill to help you break that 90 barrier, and I see this a lot in my lessons again. Not good enough at hitting your landing spots. So I've got my putt out gates that I'm using here for this drill, and I've got from the front edge of the green 2 footsteps to the first gate, 2 footsteps to the next gate, and you guessed it, 2 footsteps to the last gate. And I need to pitch a ball in between each section. So it doesn't matter where the ball goes and the direction of it, I just want you to be able to land it in between each one. So I'm going to try and start at the close one, land it in between the fringe and the first gate. Just, oh, nearly through the gate as well. So look at your patterns. That one only just made it onto the front of the green. Are you always short when you're doing these sorts of drills? So you can take that out onto the golf course. Next gap in between the first 2. Good, that was more of a longer, more towards the longer side of the gap. I'm using my 50 here. You use whichever club you want. Last one in between the final 2. Oh, I've landed it on it. Oh God, what a mess I've made. So 2 out of the 3 were landing just in the area. My second one landing easily in the area that I was trying to hit to. So try and see your patterns. Try and hit those landing spots more and more and more. The more you can hit those landing spots, the better you'll get at working out how your clubs roll out and how you can get that ball closer to the pin more often. Finally, putting. Putting, we need to stop free putting, and that first putt, distance control, is crucial. We've done a lot of golf schools, and throughout the few days that we're doing these golf schools, we always have putting competitions. And the higher handicappers, you can see, aren't as good at getting that distance control of the first putt, which is letting them down. So let's get a really good solid routine before you hit your distance putts. I like to see my students do 2 or 3 practice strokes looking at the hole, getting a feel for how hard they might hit it, what length stroke they might do at what pace. Looking at that hole, feeling it. How hard would you roll it, and try and compare that to swinging your putter. And once you've done your 2 or 3, looking at the hole, 1, 2, 3, get into the putt as quickly as you can. One more look, trying to think of how far that is, and then get that ball rolling towards that hole. If you can get it here within 1-2 feet, which I've done there, we're going to start eliminating those 3 putts. Distance control is key from these distance putts, because percentage of holding them is very, very low. Get a general idea of what the line is, but don't be too picky. But distance control, distance control, distance control. Let's do one more putt as the greenkeeper's just arrived to change the hole location. 2 or 3 strokes looking at that hole. Get in there, hit that putt as quick as you can, and try and get that distance control as good as possible. So there you go, 4 tips to help you break 90 more often. And this isn't just to break 90. If you're trying to break 80, these tips will also help you improve those skills to lower your scores even more. Hope that helps. Let me know in the comments down below which your best tip is and which helps you the most. Look forward to seeing you all in the next video.